So today, we're going to talk about the hidden world of the software testing. It's the thing that makes some of the apps you use feel so seamless and reliable, and others, well, not so much. We're going to look at this whole process from two really different angles, from the outside, like you as a user, and from the inside, like the person who actually built it.
Have you ever really thought about that? Some apps, you open them up and they just work. They feel smooth, dependable. And then others, it feels like a total gamble every time you use them. So what's the difference? What is that secret ingredient that makes you trust a piece of software?
Well, it turns out that feeling of trust, it's not an accident. It's not magic. It's something that's built very deliberately, piece by piece. It's all about a process of checking and rechecking, making absolutely sure the software does what it's supposed to and doesn't do anything it isn't.
Okay, so let's start from a perspective we all know really well, our own. As users, we pretty much only see software from the outside. And that brings us to our first big idea, something called black box testing. Think of it like this. With black box testing, you're treating the software like, well, a mysterious black box. You have no idea what's going on inside. You can't see the code, you don't know how it's wired. The only thing you care about is, if you put something in, do you get the right thing out?
I mean, this is basically how we all use our apps, right? You tap a button, you expect something to happen. You enter your password, you expect to log in. This type of testing is all about mimicking that user experience. Does the app do what it promises? And what happens when you try something a little unexpected? Does it break? A perfect way to think about this is a vending machine. You walk up, you press C5, you put your money in, and you expect your favorite snack to drop down. You don't know anything about the gears or the wiring inside, and honestly, you don't really care. All that matters is that your input, your money, and your selection gives you the right output. That, right there, is the heart of black box testing. All right, so now let's completely flip the script. We've seen it from the user's point of view, but what about the person who actually built the thing? This takes us inside the box to a totally different approach called white box testing.
So with white box testing, those opaque walls of the box just disappear. The tester can see everything, all the source code, all the connections, every little detail. It's not a black box anymore. It's more like a glass box. And the goal here isn't just to see if it works, but to understand how it works on the inside.
The focus here is completely different. The tester is looking at the actual code, the individual pathways, the little decision points, all the if this then that logic. They're trying to make sure that every single possible path through the software's brain works exactly the way it was designed to. If black box testing is like being the driver of a car, then white box testing is like being the mechanic with the hood popped open. They're not just checking if the car drives from point A to point B. No, they're down there inspecting the engine, checking the spark plugs, tracing the wiring, making sure every component is solid so the car doesn't unexpectedly break down on you later. So you've got these two very different ways of looking at software, one from the outside in, one from the inside out. But here's the really important thing. They're not in competition with each other. They're really just two sides of the same coin, both working toward the exact same goal, creating software that you can actually count on.
This really breaks it down perfectly. You could say that black box testing is asking the question, are we building the right product for the user? And white box testing is asking, are we building the product right? You see? You absolutely need both of those questions answered to make something truly great.
Exactly. One method might catch a simple typo on a button that only a user would notice. The other method might find a really deep hidden flaw in the logic that would only pop up under very specific, rare conditions. You need both to get a full picture of the software's health. So after all this, what's the big takeaway? For me, it really comes down to having a new appreciation for all the invisible work, this quiet craftsmanship that goes into the technology we use every single day. So maybe the next time you're using an app and everything just works, it's perfectly smooth, no glitches, you can just take a second and appreciate that it's not an accident. It's the result of this careful two-sided approach. There were people pretending to be you, the user, and other people acting like mechanics, looking deep under the hood. And I think we'll just end on this thought from the brilliant computer scientist Edsger Dijkstra. It's such a humble reminder that building good software isn't really about reaching some state of perfection. It's about a continuous, dedicated effort to find and fix things. It's this quiet craft of making things just a little bit better, one test at a time.